Welcome to my channel. Today we are talking and doing looks with the Blendbunny's Lure palette. I got this new in, so if you want to see which looks I created with the palette, if I like the colors, if I like the quality, if it is similar to the search palette, then just keep on watching. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Nikki. I absolutely love colorful and fun makeup looks. So if you want to see that more in your YouTube timeline, then subscribe to this channel. I upload 3 times a week. So if you want to see more fun, colorful makeup looks, a little bit of a project pan, and a lot of other things, reviews and everything, then just subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate if you be a part in our small little YouTube family. Okay, I ordered the Blendbunny Cosmetics Lure palette. I'm not sure quite if that is the right word, but this is the palette. Isn't it gorgeous? Like, look at the packaging. First of all, packaging 10 out of 10. Stunning, beautiful. This one is a little bit smaller than the Search palette. This is the Search palette. And this is the Lure palette, and you can definitely tell there is one row less. They all have the same width, just not the same height. In the Search palette, if you already know, I will blend or link the video where I tested the Search palette. This is the Search palette. She did it like this. Like, we have the pastels, medium shades, deep shades, then we do have the shimmers, and in this palette we do have neons as well. As in her other palette, there are other things. For this palette though, we do have a little bit of another constellation. We do have the pastels, the mediums, the deeps, and then we have here these shimmer shades. You can definitely tell I did try this palette and did 3 looks with it, and the 3 looks will be at the end of this video. So if you don't want to like see the whole shebang, you can just like skip to the separate looks which you already saw, like, or on the thumbnail. First, some data. This one you can order on the Blendbunny's website when you're from the US, or it is more convenient. It is around $46. Yes, $46. If you're in Europe though, you can definitely buy this on Monolith Shop EU, and then this one is 49.90 euros. So just so you have a little bit of context, and this one is indeed like inspired by mermaids, by fantasy of mermaids, tales of pirates and the beauty of the ocean. So we do have a lot of, like, I would say more cool toned like shades. This is a cool tone palette. We do have again a neutral, a blue one, a pink, a teal, purple, greens, and then we do have a more neutral leaning route you can go, or that is the color story. Again, this is a more cool tone palette. You will definitely find swatches at some point here or there in this video, just so you know. But yeah, these are again the colors. They are quite pigmented. I do like it. I don't love it. And listen, maybe this has to do because with the point that I am not the like 100%, 120% biggest fan of cool tones. I don't know. I do like the colors. I am normally not a big fan of cool tones, so this one is a palette I definitely will grab. But there is a problem with this shade. I did try it twice and it was a little bit more patchy. I also feel like these 2 pastels were sheer in the beginning, but you can build them up, so that is a great plus. I did try also like these 3, and I felt like especially this one and the tier 1, the lightest pastel shades, were quite like pigmented. And then again, like I said, the purple, the pink and the blue one were quite sheer, but you can build them up, which is a good point. I didn't have any problems with like the deep green or the black, which is amazing. I just felt like I have a lot of, like, I didn't try these 2, but with this one I had problems to build it up, that it didn't get patchy. I could though build up the black on top of it, so that saved this look, for example. The shimmers are gorgeous. Especially this one, which is a duochrome. You can definitely see it on my eyes today. This is a nudie beige to a gold green, and also like a little bit of a purpley cheek. Maybe I'm just dumb and can't describe colors, but you can definitely see more of a pinky purpley shade. I do see though the goldy greenish shade. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Also, just so you know, the blue row, this one in particular is staining red. Underneath that, I am stained red, just so you know. Again, I think it's a good palette. Is it the perfect palette and I will use this like 24/7 all the time? I don't think so, because again, I did have problems with it, but definitely will try it more. I definitely want to use these shades, rose and shades, 100%. I want to see that. Again, you saw some swatches. Again, the light blue, pink were a little bit more sheer. The dark blue has some patchiness. Again, I will try though if it may be just a primer I am using, if it is something different. Maybe it's just today, the rain, the humidity, who knows. There's so many things that come into play when it comes to like eyeshadows, I feel like. So again, like my verdict, I do like it. I don't love it. Maybe it's the shade range. Maybe it's, again, a little bit of a difficulty. But like, look at these colors. I definitely want to use the pastels over and over again, especially for my inner corner. I think it is a great like companion palette to my Search palette, because the Search palette is, you can definitely tell we do have similar colors like pinks, purples and greens, but these are a little bit more warm toned. And again, let me grab that again. These ones are a little bit more cool toned. You can definitely see the difference, can you? So I definitely will use both of these. I think they are both really pretty. I do love that in this palette there is a brighter blue, which I didn't try in my looks, so I definitely will. Again, I do love that both of these palettes look so damn pretty together. Like, listen, I definitely want to use both of them in one or two looks. So yeah, I'm not disappointed that I have it. I just need to work a little bit more with it. Again, this one with the neons, I had the same problems. Again, neons are a little bit more difficult, like you do have to add in a little bit more work to make neons work. So yeah, I do think I will play with both of them in the future. I am super excited though. Again, I do love that the like the palette is a little bit smaller, even though you don't get like more shades. But yeah, I'm not mad about having both of them. So yeah, this is my little verdict. I will now switch to the fun part and creating of some looks. So if you want to see that, then just keep on watching. Again, if you want to switch to a look in specifics, you can. I have them linked down in timestamps in the info box. And yeah, let's go to the fun part. Okay, let's start with the first look with the Lure, whatever palette. Like, listen, look at this. Isn't it pretty? I'm definitely telling you that it's pretty in the foreplay. But yeah, these are the colors. They do look gorgeous. So yeah, let's hop right in. This is the first time using the palette at all. Let's start with the deep green. I have to say, I didn't plan this look at all. So you will see definitely how this is gonna look at the end. I am not sure though. So just so you know, we will do a little bit of we're trying out something. Again, this is the deep shade, the deepest green shade. I do like the greens. It's not my, there is one definitely green I just didn't like, in my personal opinion, and that is exactly the green I just don't like at all. So, like in general, in makeup. So let's see if I can like make it work. Normally these are really, really nice and blendable. Like, look, you can definitely blend them really, really nicely. And let me also put that on the lower lash line. So just we have everything in together. Like so. Again, I am expecting this to be like super blendable and nice like the other Blendbunny's palette I tried so far. I will blend this out with the light blue shade. I was just like feeling that. Just to give it a little bit. You can use, of course, the light green, the teal, the light blue, which I am using. I don't feel that this, like, I don't feel that this is too pigmented, you know, to not use. Sometimes if it's too pigmented, this can look really, really difficult because it just not blend enough. You can definitely see it's not picking up super much of the product. Just blending that a little bit. Again, you can use whatever shade is like speaking to you, whatever you want to use. Again, these are just my... Then we go back into the deep green, just a little bit, not too much. I also take a little bit off and then just like mix these a little bit together so that it just didn't like look like I was like drunk, because I'm not. Just so you know, but like this is really, really looking pretty so far. Let me add let me add Seafoam, which is the lightest green in, you know, the inner edge. Oh well, I wasn't like, I wasn't expecting this. This is bright. Ooh, okay. Again, was not expecting that. Okay. I will also take the light blue on a small pencil brush and put that here in the inner corner. Again, this one is a little bit thinner, I would say. You can definitely see the difference between the light blue and the light green shade. There's definitely like the light blue is thinner in texture, even though of course I didn't powder like, well, I did. No, I did powder everything because I'm that kind of a person. I do have oily lids, so that is of course something I am doing, because then I don't have the problem of like creasing normally. Also, of course, a good primer is helping with that. But yeah, this is like my inner corner. It should be my inner corner. You can definitely tell it builds up, but it is thinner at the beginning. Of course, the look is, you know, like a more light looks. Like, it's not a light look, but you know what I mean. We do have some light shades here, which, I mean, look at this. Isn't this pretty though? And now we're doing a little bit of a controversial thing, because we are adding Pearl, which is the shimmer shade for the browns. This one does have a really nice pink shift. And I could have added like the green shimmer, the blue shimmer, or maybe more of the teal shimmer, because it's a little bit more like fitting to the look. I did spray this. These are a little bit more like putty. And this is perfection. Perfection. Like, look at this. So pretty. By the way, it does look like a at least duochrome. It's like pink but also goldy. This is so pretty. Does it fit? Oh, totally. Like, look at this. Isn't that the most prettiest duochrome shifty shade? It's so gorgeous. Gorgeous. I will finish it up with lashes, maybe a liner, and I will be right back. So this is the finished look. I added, of course, some lashes and a liner, and I added the NYX Epic Wear pencil in Blue Trip, and I also added the Luna Beauty lashes, and these are the Luna lashes. Do love these quite a bit. Definitely love the look. Look at this. It's almost like a peekaboo, because you think maybe I would add in the green or the blue. Of course you could, but instead I added the duochrome, which is also a pink. Love it. I absolutely love it. Let's go to the next look. Okay, let's do the next look. I do want to do a smoky eye, so let's see how we does that. And I think I will start with the tealy shade, maybe like this teal. So it's a medium teal, not the deep teal. Let's see, like stamp this into the whole crease. You can definitely tell. This is so pretty. Do want to do a colorful look, of course. Listen, this like channel is indeed a colorful one, if you didn't know before. Yeah, this one, like that, it's so pretty, to be honest. Just using a little bit more pretty color. So pretty. I will use the deep blue, just with a just let me press that into, well, that's working. Let me press that into the socket in hopes that, or on the lid, in hopes that I don't have so much fallout that I can't handle that. Not sure about that, by the way. This will be, by the way, it's not, it doesn't have to be perfect, because I will definitely put on like a shimmer or something in the center and blend a little bit into the teal. Again, I'm more concerned to have a nice like blend from the teal to the deep blue than I have here. And definitely tell it is a little bit patchy. It could be because we did like use another color and maybe something like was on the primer, or maybe because I set the primer. I know not everyone's favorite part, but again, I do have oily lids, so for me that is a little bit essential to do. Don't love the part, by the way, that is like, look at this. Isn't that a beautiful blend? You can, of course, add here another like primer or glitter glue or anything so that it is not patchy if you want to have the color. And if you want to like just have a matte look, again, I am not searching for a matte look. I will use just a tiny bit of the teal shade and blend that a little bit. You want to use the lightest pink, light pink as well, to blend that out, which could be horrible or it could be the best idea I ever had. We will see. I would just use the lightest pink, not the purple, the lightest pink, and then I'm going here on the edge to just blend a little bit so that it's just not blue, if you will. This one is also a little bit thinner when you ask about the consistency. Like I felt like the light green was really like pigmented and there, and I feel like the light blue and the light pink are a little bit more sheer, if you will, but you can definitely tell. Also go in like a little bit on the edges, because listen, I'm not caring about like my placement here, because I do like to have it a little bit everywhere. I will go into the medium teal again. Just will use a little bit less pigment, and I will go on the edges to just like bring a little bit back on the tealy front, just a little bit, adding that into the look. So pretty. Again, if you lost the pink a little bit, you just go back with the brush and add it again to the look. I do think this is looking really pretty. The only thing that is like not working quite well is the deep blue. Let's try to maybe add it, like do it with another, use another brush. Mine was a little bit more fluffy. That could also be the reason why this is not sticking properly. I will use a little bit of a denser brush and use the same blue. This could also be like a bluish purple, to be honest. And then we will pack that on. Again, yeah, if you just pack it on with a denser brush, that is a little bit better. It's not perfect. Again, we will not like care about that because we will blend everything out, or we will definitely use a shimmer shade. I will go back without any additional product and just blending a little bit of the edges. Just so that everything is blended. Can also go back into the first brush, which is again a little bit more fluffy. Use it on the edges. I feel like that worked a little bit better. It's not going to stick, see? It's a little bit unfortunate. We will try that later. But let's do a shimmer on the lid. I want to use the shade Bioluminescent, which is the blue shade on the lid. I'm trying not to... Ooh. Try not to bring in the mirror so badly, but like, look at this shade. Just want to use it maybe on the edges. Or in the middle, so that it's almost a halo eye, you know what I mean? That's pretty. Let me also use a little bit of the black, which we do have. It's called Black Sea. Just a little bit on a smaller brush, just to deepen up the look a little bit on the center. Like it's a smoky eye, you know? Let me reflect that on the lower lash line. Listen, I just added the deep blue. That's it. That's all I needed. Like, that's all I needed. Let's do for the inner part, the lightest teal shade first, and then we'll see how this is going. This shade is called Lost at Sea. Again, this is, I think, the lightest shade in the whole palette. It's a really, really light teal shade. Just add that in the inner part. Again, it is also a little bit more sheer than you would think, but it is buildable, which is a great point. Let me do that on the other eye, add some lashes, all the good things, and then I will be right back. So this is the finished look. I added just a liner and some lashes. Of course, this is the NYX one in a blue teddy. I absolutely love it. By the way, I do love the inner corner. It is so damn pretty. And for lashes, I use the Lily lashes in Miami Flare. Of course, these are faux. But yeah, this is the finished look. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's a big lash for a big look, to be honest. But I do like it a lot. The only shade I have to say didn't perform well was the like really deep blue. So we have to check for the third look if that is just because today or if that is like indefinite. But other than this, I do love the look. I think I saved it quite well. I do love the contrast also for the pink. Nice, nice, nice. So what do you think? Let's hop to the third look. Let's start with the last look with the Lure palette. I wanted to do my lips are looking crazy probably, but I wanted to do something with the blue again, so we test out this one. By the way, the blue eyeshadows are staining pink, which is Amazing. Amazing. Listen. That was, of course, not the intent. Listen, not even close. But yeah, the blue ones, because I had the last look on right before this. And yeah, my eyelids are now stained pink, which is amazing. But just let's just go on. And we will start with the deepest shade, which will be the deep, which is the deep blue. So if you know, you know. And we'll try to not like blend you or anything. I will start with the deeper shade this time, just to see if it gets patchy again, because in the last look it did. So we'll see about that. Again, I'm using a really small brush, and I'm just like using the shade a little bit like with a wing, so that we have that. And I will also put that in my inner lid area, like so. Just want to use like, do a little bit of a halo eye. Again, we will blend that with other colors, but that is the base. Not the best, to be honest, when we're starting with the deep shade, but we can do that. I have trust in the color, at least a little bit. Let me see if it is getting patchy. It is not quite, it's not quite as opaque as I would hoped. So it's, I will of course use the palette more and see if it is just maybe the eyeshadow primer or anything else. So just so you know, if the problem is the eyeshadow primer, if it is something totally different, sometimes that can happen, you know. So just so you know, I will test of course more, but so far it is still patchy. Let's go with the medium purple, which is Seductress, and let's use that one. We didn't add in purple shades so far, so that would be hopefully really nice. I would just like blend the like bluish shade. I think I needed like a not so dense brush. We always like leave a little bit of space in the middle. It does look a little bit strange, but hopefully at the end it will look good. We just blend this out a little bit and try to build a little bit of depth. I would, in a normal case, would start with the medium shade and then build up color depth as usual. But again, I wanted to see if the blue is getting patchy when we start with the color, and to be honest, it is. Like, you see that? Sure is getting patchy. We'll probably blend in the black as well, so we will use Deep Sea, I think. Black Sea, sorry for that. We'll use Black Sea on top of the blue. I felt like that was a little bit of a saving in the last look. Just really use this really small pencil brush and just add that in the center. And then we use a little bit of the purple to blend everything. Again, I will leave a little bit of a like blank space in the middle of the lid. You can of course cover it up if you did like I a little bit covered a little bit of the middle of my lid. You can always just use a base or a concealer if you don't have any problems with like creasing, and just like make a blank space again. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. But let's, says the woman with the deep shade. Well, that went great. I think we didn't use the really light purple, so I think we should. Really light purple. and then just like blend the edges. I feel like these, listen, I feel like these really light shades are like almost neon-y. Like, look at this. This has some power, at least some of them. Again, if we cover up anything, we don't care. I will do that on the lower lash line as well, and then we see what we can do on the lid. I know I should use any of the other shades, but indeed I definitely want to use, you can use any of these shimmer shades, but I do want to use this one. By the way, nails are perfectly fine with that. I also like considered using the teal, which is this one. But again, I'm feeling more this shade. So we're doing that. I'm sorry if I didn't like choose something different, but this one is so pretty. I definitely think that I will use this more than once, twice, 5 times. I used it in a look before. I know. We will spray that. And then we will use that on the inner part. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this. Isn't that pretty? We will, of course, deepen up the edges again. Give a little bit of a dimension to it. Just a little bit. I don't care if this is like really deep, because a little bit of the shade, and then we will spritz that, and then we will put that here on my lower lash line. Let me go with a different color for the inner corner. I will use the lightest teal shade, because I feel like this one would fit so perfectly. Again, lightest teal shade. And the inner corner. You can definitely tell it's not giving directly the best pigmentation, but again, it's giving buildable. You definitely can tell. Such a pretty shade. Definitely will use this in other looks as well. Like, yeah, this is probably a finished look. I will do it on the other eye, and then we'll talk about everything. So this is the finished look. I used the same liner in Blue Teddy, as well as the same lashes in Miami Flare for this look, because listen, I had them. So we're good with that. I do have to say, I do love the look. It is so pretty. Again, the bluish color was not the best to work with, but I definitely will use the palette again, see if maybe another eye primer will work with the shade. In general, I do think it is a little bit more like bluish purple, and purples are really difficult to make. Maybe that could be a part of this as well. I do have to say, I do have a lot of colors to test out in the future, so I am more than excited to do that. And yeah, I am excited to try all of them. Definitely love the looks so far with the palette. That was everything for you guys. I hope you liked my 3 looks with the palette. Please tell me if you also bought the palette, which looks you want to see maybe in a reel or a short, which color combination I should try next with the palette. Again, tell me everything down in the comments below. I wish you though a beautiful week, and we see us in my next video. Bye guys.